Hi, it's Jim Owens with Performance Strategies Group. As you know, we've been on a bit of a video and social media hiatus for a while. Many of you know that a few weeks ago my father passed away, and because of that, I took some time away from video and blogging and a few other things, social media, to be able to spend a lot of time with him and with my mother. And so I'm grateful to all of those of you who have reached out, who have sent cards and emails and texts and phone calls of concern for me and my mother. We're doing great, and I'm really appreciative of that. And I also need to note my gratitude for my dad, without whom I would not have ventured off into this business of consulting and trying to improve the performance of organizations by helping build their sales and leadership skills and doing the strategic planning work that we're doing. But I wanted to update you on a project we're doing right now. We've been involved in a 360-degree assessment project, which is often daunting for people. They're afraid of the findings that people might have, what people think of themselves. But it essentially is a painless process in which people are not allowed to make offhanded remarks that might not be useful to someone. What we ask the raters to do is to respond to questions about 8 different dimensions of leadership. They will include things like inclusiveness and affirmation and energizing and humility and resoluteness and deliberateness, a number of other things that kind of add up to those 8 things. But as we coach people through this process, one of the things we tell them is you really only have 4 options to make change. And some of you have heard this before. You can do more of something, you can do it better, you can do less, or you can do things differently. And the example I use is if you're trying to lose weight, right, you can do more exercise, you can move more, you can eat better by eating a balanced meal and avoiding fast foods like I had today at lunch. You can do things differently. You can perhaps fast for 14 hours a day. That's a number of different things. And you can do less in that you consume less junk food, or you do less of other things that take away your time from being able to take care of yourself so that you can serve other people. Now, one of the things that's also developed in this process is a very clear need for people to kind of review game tape, if you will. We ask people to take a look at the last 6 to 8 weeks worth of their career, so to speak, and look at the results that they've had from the feedback they get, and ask themselves, would they want a do-over, so to speak, on anything that they've done in the last few weeks that might have changed the outcome, that might have demonstrated more of a sense of this person's a pioneer of what's going on in their organization, or that might have provided people with a better understanding of their sense of humility, or that their inclusion of people in a specific situation. There's a lot of different ways to do that, but you can review things like the last meeting you went to. You can review things like how you approach an interaction with an individual, a number of different ways to do that. And so by looking at the past, we're able to kind of identify those things in the context of this new information we have, and then therefore take it and transmit it forward. We can ask ourselves, how would we do things going forward based on the knowledge that we have now? Would we approach our relationships with people differently? Would we affirm someone differently? One of the things we tell people is, like, when you affirm someone, it's not just enough to say good job. What you have to do is say, here's a good job, this is the place where you did a good job, and here's what it did. It saved the company money, it improved the relationships within our organization, it maybe made us more money, and any number of different things that you might suggest that are very positive ways to affirm people. We talk to them about how to affirm people who have different behavioral styles. Some people want to be broadly recognized in large groups of people. Others are embarrassed by that, and they don't appreciate it in that manner. So we ask them to look at the past, then look at the forward, and roll the game tape forward, and kind of have a game plan associated with those things. Yeah, all the coaching sessions are really painless, and we've gotten great feedback from people, and so we're excited about the impact we're being able to have within that organization. And of course, all the discussions we have with our individual clients within this organization are confidential. All we do is tell our leadership groups, the organization, is here's what we're talking about, the general things. We look for trends. In this particular organization, There's a distinct amount of what I would call institutional humility and approachability amongst the people, which is really positive, and they just need to continue doing what they're doing as it relates to that. We're working on some other projects I thought I would tell you about. Early next year, I'll be leading a strategic planning project for an organization in Birmingham. We're wrapping up a strategic planning process for a company that's actually located in Huntsville, but we spent a lot of time with them in Nashville. Their office is up there. We're working on something in the Midwest to help build a process for creating a coaching culture within that company, and to equip people with both some specific skills as well as to help them figure out how to develop their people and really retain their people. I remind people this all the time. 80% of the engagement any individual person in an organization has comes directly from their boss, from their supervisor or manager. It doesn't come from their benefits package. It doesn't come from having a great big social media presence. Yes, people find it important to be socially minded, particularly now with millennials and Gen Xers. They want to know that their organizations are working and doing good things for their community and for their people, not just that they're treating each other well and compensating each other well. But if the manager doesn't understand how he or she impacts that sense of engagement, then they're missing a huge opportunity to do a better job. We've got a number of other projects we're working on. One of them is a sales training project for a bank in Tennessee.